Yo, 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 yo. So, last time, I think it was basically talking about how, yeah, by the way, preface alert. If you're listening to this video, this is a rehashing of my past, things I've been through, times in my past. I am making videos to kind of go through these moments and talk about them again. This is mostly designed for therapeutic purposes for myself, basically, because what I'm doing is I am making these videos so that as I go through my past, I'm actually dealing with things a little bit better, reprocessing, reprogramming, all of that. So I am processing and I'm just like refining these memories within myself. And it's making a big difference doing this. So I'm really happy and thankful about this process I've discovered, basically. And that's why I'm doing it. So that's what this video is about, along with all the other videos. Well, not all of them, but like at least 8 videos before this one. So FYI, it's not for like glorifying my past or glorifying experiences or judging them or anything like that. This is simply, or for attention. This is simply for therapeutic purposes. So I am going through these past things. So last I talked about my first serious girlfriend in Maryland, once I moved back to Maryland. And this is I was going to say 2015. This is 2017, actually. Late 2017. So a solid year at Rise Up Coffee Company I worked. And then I worked there for a solid year, was a barista, then became a delivery specialist. And I got really burnt out on the road, on the job, working hard, and really lonely, ultimately just became really lonely out there on the road all day, all the time, away from people, and it was driving me nuts. I was also really caught up in a lot of weird stuff, spiritual magic, let's say, or just spiritual energies and frequencies and Reiki and crystals and serendipities, all listening to channelings, Arcturians, Cryon, all these kinds of things. And I ended up, I remember where I left off. This is leading up to my first serious girlfriend. I ended up getting so burnt out from my job. I was like, dog, I need a vacation. I've literally worked in any normal job you work, you take a few vacations a year, at least a couple, right? At least one bare minimum. I had not taken any vacations from Rise Up yet since beginning in February of 2016. And now it's like July or August of 2017. I was so beyond due for a vacation. It was a crime against humanity as a whole and every being in the galaxy. I needed a vacation. I needed one bad. I met this lady. So let me explain this. Let me explain how this happened, because this is an important introduction to a really big change in my life and a big change in the chapter of my life. So basically, but for real though, like I said, I was really burnt out and I needed a vacation, and I felt lost. I felt frustrated. I didn't have much religion. I didn't have much of a relationship with God, etc. And some things had happened. I just felt like there wasn't anyone I could talk to, really, that I could like explain things to, or that I could all these things, right? Like I just didn't feel like there was anyone I could talk to about the stuff I was going through, and I didn't know where to start either. It was just crazy. So I ended up feeling really, really lost and alone. And then one day, I remember I'd gotten back to work after a long, grueling day of deliveries, just like always. I don't want to go through this because it's so frustrating. What that life was like. I don't want to revisit that life because it was just so frustrating. But get back late at the end of the day, yet again, like so many times with this delivery van. Finally finished it up. I get so tired and so lonely of being out there delivering that eventually, and doing it fast and worrying about time and everything, I eventually just gave up and I just said, screw it. I'm just going to take my time. And when I'm done, I'm done. When I finish, I finish. That's it. And most of the times I would finish when everyone else was already done. and they would be done for the day, and no one would ever notice. No one would ever really, I don't want to say no one would care, but no one would really, and not say they didn't notice, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd come home, I'd get back to work every day and finish the work, and everybody would already be gone. All the workers that were there in the morning would already, most of the time they'd be gone. They wouldn't be there when I got there, and by the time I got back, they were already gone. So my work day was way longer than most everybody's there. Pretty much everybody's there. And so that was crazy. So I didn't see anyone. So lack of human contact, again, as perpetuated by me because of my frustration and tiredness. And there was this girl, I say girl, I call her a girl because to me, in my love language, she was a girl. Her name was Double Shot Jen. And she was named Double Shot Jen because she would always come in every day and get a double shot of espresso. Sometimes multiple times a day. And this is already affecting me. I'm already hitting feelings already. When I was first a barista and I came in and I was running the register for the first time, she came through my line for the first time and I saw her. I was trying to be really, really down to earth, really grounded, really humble, really grateful for the job, and really just do it my best, absolute best. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I love, and here I am, and I'm doing it. And I'm trying to give it I'm literally trying to do my best. I'm literally trying to make a big difference in the world and just try to be a good example and just try to be the butterfly effect, be the change you want to see, all those things. So I was being really cool to people. And I kind of remember the thing I said to her when I first saw her. And when I first saw her, I just saw her as a woman. I saw her as a woman, as like just a regular, everyday, normal woman. She was a grown woman. And, like, not in my realm of interest romantic-wise at all. And, which is important. And I said, I like your colors, or I love your colors, because she was just decorated. She just had color to her. She just had life to her, and it said something to her, and it made a difference in her, and it made an impression on her, and it touched her. It touched her. What I said touched her. I found that out later, and so that was really cool. But I mean, like I said, I was just trying to be good, just trying to make a difference, all this kind of stuff. You know, I was actually genuinely being really awesome, not to toot my own horn at all. But so later on, that was when I first started as a barista. That was like February of 2016. And now here it is in February. I remember coming home from a long day of work, parking the van at the store, at the coffee shop, the roastery, when I just gotten there, to take in the empties and go in and punch out, basically. And put everything back, make sure everything's good, look at things and check things out, make sure everything's good, and punch out and be done and go home. Maybe a drink, see who's there, say something to someone, maybe say something, see who's there, say something to someone, maybe, and but leave. And so I got there, and I just remember I was feeling really, really lost, and this was a compound feeling that happened again and again and again. I felt really, really lost. I felt really, really just like I felt like, man, this is so crazy. I am literally just out here. I'm literally just out here. This is crazy. I feel like no one knows me. I feel like no one thinks about me. I feel like no one cares about me in a way. I knew it wasn't true, but I just felt so distant and disconnected from humanity. And I was living at my sister's house, and it was just a bad situation, and all this kind of stuff was just a bad situation. But I just remember hearing this voice. I literally cried out in my thoughts, and literally Leia and Luke in Empire Strikes Back, and then in Return of the Jedi, it was like she heard me. And I just heard this voice that said, I understand, or I get it, or you're not alone. It was like, I get it. I get it. And I was like, what the heck? What is this? What is this? And it was her. It was Double Shot Jen. And the funny thing is she lived next door, literally adjacent to the coffee roastery all this time. She'd been there this whole time. That's where she lived. And I was like, what the heck? And I ended up bumping into her, and it was like a serendipitous bump in, and I was kind of at this place in my life where I was literally like, whatever. Like, dude, I'm freaking wide open. I don't have anything going on. I ain't worried about anything. I'm just doing my own thing. I am out here, whatever. And I bumped into her, and she's like a 40-year-old woman, and again, a full-grown woman and all this stuff, and I am this 29-year-old, 28-year-old guy, however old I was, 20, 28, 27, 29, not 27, like 20, somewhere in there, and 29ish, 28, 29, doesn't matter really, but that's just, you get the gist. And I'm suddenly having these moments with her where I feel like this awkwardness, like this tension, and it's like flirty, and I don't want to say sexual tension, but it was like sexual tension, I guess. It was like, whatever. Actually, that happened later, I think. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, something happened, and I bumped into her or something like that, and or she was walking by as she did or something like that, because she was just lived right around the corner. Somewhere, somehow, I ended up talking to her and going over to her house and chatting with her on her back porch. Something like that. I can't remember. Something like that. Something happened. We ended up talking somehow. And I don't know how I'm going to get through this video because I'm getting here to Walmart. Got to get these stuff from my mom and head back. But we ended up talking, and we had a deep talk about things. Yeah, we sat on her porch and had a deep talk. And she's telling me about this stuff, and she's telling me about this labyrinth that she went to in Montana. It's like this big spiritual walk. It's like this big long labyrinth. There's a spiral when you walk it. You walk your journey, and when you get to the middle, you leave a part of yourself there with everyone else's stuff. And it's representative that you were there and that sort of thing. And so she's telling me about this and everything. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is cool, And something else, and something, maybe she told me about the vortex or something, some kind of weird phenomenon in Montana that's worth checking out. Anyway, she's telling me all this stuff, right? And we're in cahoots. We're talking, and I told her, I think again I had planned to move to Reno or something like that, or I told her, I can't remember. I remember telling her something. I just remember her saying, "I can't believe you're gone," or no. It was, "I can't believe you went." Yeah. So I talked with her a little bit, and then got my vacation time and just went about my business again, and I'm still going through this drudgery. Life is a drudgery at this point, just a total drudgery. Got my vacation time, and then I went on my vacation. And what did I do on my vacation? I drove. Even though I'm a full-time delivery driver, on my vacation I decided to just keep on trucking. So I drove. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have driven that far. Well, actually, I kind of needed to get away, but I drove to Montana by myself on my vacation. And I was going to go check out these things. Like, dude, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I just want to get away. I need space. I need all this kind of stuff. I need something. I need clarity of mind. I need something. I'm looking for something. I'm searching for something. I don't know what it is. I don't know where to find it. I don't know where to find it, but I'm trying. And so I left, and I drove all the way to Montana, and I unfortunately smoked on stuff when I was going on the way, because that's just where I was. And I ran out of gas 3 times on the way, on the whole trip to and from total. Sad, and asked for help and got help and all this stuff, but it was honestly kind of pitiful. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna beat myself up too much about it at all. I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. That's what the adversary wants. But I get there to this labyrinth late at night, and it's like thundering, and it's like this cataclysmic moment, and I finally gotten there, right? And then I called her. I texted her, or I called her. I think I texted her. I can't remember which one. And I was like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm at the labyrinth, And she was like, she couldn't believe it. She like lost her mind. She's like, "Oh my gosh, like you're there? Like you're there? Like what? Like you're actually there? Like what the heck? That's freaking nuts. You're actually there in Montana? You went to Montana? What? This is real? You actually did this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually there, and because I just didn't have anything going on. It was just crazy. And so I went there. That's what I did. And yeah, so that's that, right? And yeah, so crazy. And yeah, crazy. And we're texting everything, and she's like, "Okay, I gotta go," and stuff. And so I got it to be continued, this video. Unfortunately, because it's too much to tell in one sitting here. But yeah, all that stuff happened, and then I experienced the vortex. I was like looking for this spiritual significance in information and momentum and all this stuff. Really looking for something, right? And then went to that was the labyrinth, and then I went to the vortex the next day, and I didn't have anything arranged. I didn't have sleeping locations, hotels, anything arranged. I had none of that arranged at all. I don't know. I can't even remember where I slept. I think I slept in my car like the whole time. I can't even remember where I stayed or whatever. But yeah. And so next day I went to the vortex, which was pretty cool. It was like this weird wonder of the world kind of thing, and interesting and cool. And met a lady there with her grandson, and she was telling me about Cryon. I was like, "What the heck is Cryon? What the heck are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, it's this channeling or whatever." And she told me about it, and apparently this being, this entity, this dude who channels this being. And I was like, "Okay." But at the time I was like totally open to it, so of course that's where I went. So I looked him up on YouTube and listened to him, found him, and started listening to this dude named Cryon channeling and stuff like that. And so that was the whole thing. And smoking more on the way home and everything, and ran out of gas again. I think I ran out of gas twice on the way there and once on the way back. And I get back, and then I go to see her at her house, and she sees me, and she gets up and she starts walking towards me fastly, and she starts running to me down her lane to me. Double shot Jen. And she jumps up in my arms, like to wrap her legs around me and like fully jump and fully give me a full jumping body hug. And I was just like, I didn't fully receive it, because I was just like, I didn't know, I couldn't comprehend it. And she was like, "Oh, I can't believe you went. I can't believe it." And she talked to me, and I sat and talked to her and everything, and I was thinking about things. And I think I told her I was going to move back to Reno or something. I needed to go back to Reno or something like that. And we were just talking, just having deep talks, just deep spiritual talks about things, just deep talks. Like, she got it, I got it, and it was like something about, we didn't really know what we were doing, but we understood enough about something to understand something about each other, or something about that. And she had her philosophy about certain things, and I had my thoughts. And she had this big book. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I have this stuff I have to give you. I have to give you this. I have to give you this book. I have to give you this. I have to give you all these things." And it was just kind of weird. Not weird. It was just like it was weird in a way, but it was just kind of like, it was like, this is interesting. Like, I don't know where this is going. This is interesting. This is like, I'm kind of riding the wave a bit. So I'm like, okay, I really don't know what to make of it, because she's cool, and we have this coherence and everything. And anyway, at some point we ended up hanging out, but like we were gonna go on a date or something, or we were gonna hang out and go kayaking or something. And it's kind of like just emerged like out of nowhere. It was weird, kind of just kind of came about. And I was like, okay, so I get together with her, and we like go down to the beach and walk. I'm trying to remember. One day we went to the beach, and the next time we went kayaking, I think. Went to the beach and walked, and she went to the store to get something to drink at the store on the way there, and she bought like, I think she bought wine. I feel like she bought wine, but I think she bought beer. I can't remember what it was. It was alcohol though, and I was like, I don't really buy beer or drink beer really. I just got something normal to drink. And we go to the beach, and we're walking around and talking about things and having kind of an experience. And I'm telling her about this and telling her about this about my mom, telling her all this stuff. And everything I'm telling her, she's just like she's like interpreting it. And she's like, yeah. She's like, oh yeah. She's like listening and like interpreting this and interpreting that or whatever. And it was really interesting and kind of weird. And I was like, I was a little afraid, because she was drinking, or she had gotten the alcohol, and I was like, I didn't know where this was going, and there was like a capacity for something strange to happen. I didn't really understand. I felt kind of scared a little bit, like I'm just this innocent young guy, kind of in a way. And you're this older woman, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to expect here. I don't really know what's going to happen. And we did that and just talked at the beach and stuff, and then went home. And then we got together again. I'm trying to remember this. This is the best as I can remember. And we went kayaking. And this is really digging in my memory, by the way, you guys. You don't know how far I'm digging in my memory, but I'm digging in my memory here. It's kind of awesome that I can remember this much, actually. It actually is. And I gotta hurry up and make this video. I gotta get these sprinkles for my mom. And we go kayaking, and we go to her friend's house who has this property next to the water, and she has kayaks and everything, and we're going to get in the water. She goes and gets in her kayak and pops into the kayak into the water, and I'm getting mine and everything, and she is just like so she is so fully immersed in this experience that I'm just like, I couldn't quite comprehend it. I was like, this chick is just like, she has dived all the way in. She has gone all the way in. Completely. Like, she has, like, completely, like, if there was a jumping in, she has already fully jumped in, if that makes sense. That's not even the right analogy, but to show the depth of how much she jumped up. There is sending it, and then there is sending it so hard you will never even think about looking back, because you sent it so far it ain't ever coming back. It's sent. There's no undoing. You can't undo it. And that's how far her level of commitment was, and willingness, I guess, to dive in. And I was like, wow, And I got into the kayak and everything, and she's talking to her friend and joking, and she says something to me as I'm getting ready to get into the water. She says, "You can swim, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." But I wasn't like that excited. I was basically like, yeah, I can swim, And she was like, "Good, because I can't. So if I drown, if I fall in, you're going to have to rescue me." And I'm sitting here going, we're about to go out here on a river in these kayaks, and you don't know how to swim. You hear what I'm saying? It was like that. It was like, okay. All right. Well, now that we know that. And so that leaves me with no choice but to say, okay. Like, okay. What the heck is this? Literally, what the heck is this? What the heck is going on? And so we go out there, and we're fine, and we have a good time, and we're out there paddling and talking and stuff, and it's awesome. And it's deeply spiritual still, and she's telling me these things, and she's talking to me, everything, and she's telling me stuff about this and that, and things that happened in her past, and traumatizing things, and I'm telling her things about me and things that happened to me, and I wanted to tell her more. I couldn't quite tell her everything I wanted to tell her. Didn't quite get a chance, and we needed to turn around because it was getting darker, and we needed to come back, so we did that. We started coming back. But that was something else. I'm gonna tell you, and I have never even really just gotta chill. Haven't really thought about that much since then, but that was something else. That's all I can say. That was something else. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I needed it. And I don't know how I ended up getting what I needed, but I got what I needed somehow. And I could cry right now because I was so distraught, so lost, so scared, so far away from everything. So lost. So lost. It's hard to fathom right now. For me right now, it's impossible for me to fathom how lost I actually was back then, because that's how lost I actually was. I was so lost I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom how lost I was. That also speaks to how found I am. which is a really profound and amazing thing as well. Being lost isn't profound, but the differences there is amazing. Anyway, I gotta end this video because I want to keep going. I'm on a roll. I am on a roll, but I gotta go right now.